Hi, I'm Lisa K. Donner, along with Andrew Moran, Sarah Cowgill, Jim Fight, and Graham Noble. And this is the Conservative Five, Liberty Nation's online TV news program. Vice President Kamala Harris was in Eastern Europe recently to discuss how the U.S. is leading the world in response to the war in Ukraine. She wants a war crimes tribunal. She explained that Russia was bigger than Ukraine, and she appeared to lose her train of thought just about every time she opened her mouth. It appears to many folks that Kamala is coming undone. Are the job stresses taking a toll? Is she out of her depth? Andrew, should we worry about the mental health of the vice president now as well?
I don't think it's necessarily mental health. I just think it's complete incompetence. I mean, everyone saw this during the 2020 primaries of how an awful candidate she was. Why do you think she dropped out even before her vote was taken? You know, she's just an unlikable person. Jeff Charles, our correspondent, he calls her Black Hillary, and he calls her for a very reason. She has the same charisma as Hillary Clinton. She has the same unlikability as Hillary Clinton. The only thing that's missing is the hot sauce out of her handbag. You know, she was one of those soundbite politicians. You know, she provided zero substance to anything. She didn't contribute any new ideas. You know, on the economics front, I wrote about her platform throughout the campaign. It was all dreadful. It was all more of the same. She wanted government to, you know, support the housing market. She wanted the government to spend this. You know, it's just, you know, if we had her crystal ball and we anticipate this foreign policy blunder, the only person in that 2020 race who would have been a good vice president, and I'm sure Sarah would say the name for me.
Tulsi Gabbard.
That's it. That's the only person out of anybody in that field who could have been a decent vice president and handle this the foreign policy. Because remember, foreign policy, that was her main platform plank. She talked about the regime change wars. She talked about, you know, engaging in peace and all that excellent policy. So Kamala Harris, there's a reason why she's a 25% approval rating. It's the reason why she's less popular than Joe Biden, and she's a terrible vice president. And that's my opinion on the matter.
Sarah, politically speaking, is this a gal that can do no right? I mean, is it a hopeless situation for her?
I think it is. And, you know, Kiki McLean can't save her. There's a lot of good people that have been on board.
Tell our viewers who Kiki McLean is.
Kiki McLean is a political PR
operative
wonder, and she has always been in left politics. She brought the Clintons back from the stand by your man in the cigar issue and changed their entire, you know, persona to where it was good and it was lively.
What could she possibly do with Kamala Harris? You
can't do anything with her. I mean, she can't. I think they're just going to have to pull her out of there, you know, make up some reason why she can't serve out her term. But if Joe Biden, for some reason, would have to step down, health wise or anything else, Harris ain't the girl. She's not the girl. So they're going to have to make her get out of there first, and then reinstall whoever they want that might be able to take it on the job if it's going to happen. I mean, she's horrible. And I think, you know, to me, she appears like she's drunk or on drugs all the time. She wanders. She's even when she's scripted, she has these pregnant pauses that are horrible. They're just like, did they cut her off? Did they cut her off? Did they cut the feed? And it's not. It's just she's just stopping, waiting to have something pop into her little pea brain. I don't know.
The real problem with Kamala Harris is very simple. You see, you know, you've got to, you know, people need to remember that when people run for elected office, and particularly, you know, senior elected office, you know, vice president, president, these people aren't, even if they've been in politics for decades, some of them become experts in certain policy issues. But, you know, most politicians, they have to actually do their homework. They have to bone up on certain subjects. They have to learn about foreign and domestic policies that affect the countries. They're not born with this knowledge. They don't learn it at school. Just, you know, they have to learn it. And Kamala Harris, what she doesn't do, and I've read about rumors coming out of her staff that back this up, she does not do her homework. She simply does not bother to bone up on the subject at hand. And therefore she goes into these meetings and she gives these speeches, and she literally has no idea what she's talking about.
But Graham, Russia is bigger than Ukraine. How else could she have figured that out? If she didn't do her homework, how would she know that Russia is bigger than Ukraine? I'm sorry, but I found a flaw in your argument.
Right, yeah. Well, you do have a point there, Jim. Yeah.
She stole that from some second grader visiting the White House.
What kind of grade would you give her on her European performance politically, Jim? I mean, she does seem to laugh at the wrong times. That goes to Sarah's argument. Is she tipsy or, maybe there is a comparison between Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris, neither one inhaled, one of those kind of things. What's the deal with how she performed in Europe and her inappropriate cackling?
A big part of me wants to do an impersonation and just like him and haw back and forth and then cackle a little bit. But I mean, look, we don't have time for that much dead space in the in today's events. But what's wrong with her performance in Europe is what's wrong with her performance everywhere. This is going to sound kind of obvious, but I mean, she just isn't leadership material. She brings nothing to the table. I mean, you've heard the expression empty suit. There you go. All she brought to the table was identity politics. That's the reason she's vice president.
Well, I will say vice president is kind of a no-win position. I remember when the press was merciless with Dan Quayle.
True.
Anybody?
True,
oh, wow.
But she earns it. She earns it.
Yeah.
But the thing with Kamala Harris is that she tries to be cool, but she tries to be a less cool Barack Obama. She's more like that soccer mom who tries to be cool in front of her 10th grade son friends. But, I think of Barack Obama, she should, because I think I've read reports where she's seeking out help to improve her image or improve her standing as vice president. I think if she does go to Barack Obama is going to say, Kamala, I think you should stop sounding like Woody Woodpecker and just be serious for once. Stop laughing all the time.
Here's the thing. You're born or not born being cool, and you can't manufacture cool. She's not got it. She's never going to get it. So she ought to just be herself. Maybe that would help her standings if she just was herself.
It's like
Probably wouldn't hurt for her to pick up a new nervous tick other than cackling.
Well, but it's a tough business to be in politics when you have a kind of an unlikable personality.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not untrue.
Well, when she addresses the press, the nation, the world, personally, I hold my breath, and I wonder if the Veep is not in a tad bit over her head, and then she sinks like a stone. Thanks for tuning in, folks, and thanks, panel. That's it for our Conservative 5 panel today. Check out our other C5 shows and segments on your favorite video platform. YouTube, Vimeo, Rumble, we're on them all. As well, Liberty Nation has its own Roku channel where you can see all of our TV productions. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, surf on over to libertynation.com. Join us on the Member Zone, just $17.76 for the year. Thanks to our fantastic editor and post coordinator, Frank DiOrio, and our executive producer, Sarah Calgill. I'm Lisa K. Donner, editor-in-chief. Thanks for joining us today. This has been a production of libertynation.com, where truth is making a comeback.